And we also talked to the young quarterbacks. Shedeur Sanders, he talked a lot about just putting his head down, going to work and getting better. He's not worried about all the noise outside of this building. Of course, everybody is christening him the day one starter from a national standpoint. He's not worried about that. He's just out here trying to get better every single day. It doesn't matter to him if he's working with the first team, if he's not, and he's really, really getting better, and he's focused.
Sometimes the best way to expose a broken system is to let it expose itself, and that's exactly what happened when a veteran NFL reporter thought she could rattle rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders during what should have been a routine press conference. It's July 18th at Cleveland Browns training camp. The cameras are rolling, reporters have their notepads ready, and everyone's expecting the usual rookie quarterback questions. You know the drill. How's the playbook coming along? What's it like working with the coaches? Standard stuff. But Mary Kay Cabot, who's been covering the Browns for nearly 3 decades, had something else in mind. Instead of asking about football, she looked Shedeur directly in the eye and asked about his father Deion's health struggles. Not his preparation for camp, not his goals for the season, but a deeply personal question about his dad's medical situation. The kind of question that had absolutely nothing to do with why they were all sitting in that room. Now, let's be crystal clear about who Shedeur Sanders is. This isn't just some random 5th-round pick trying to make the team. This is a young man who's been in the spotlight his entire life, someone who's been media trained since he could barely hold a football. The son of primetime himself, carrying both the blessing and the burden of that legendary name. And Mary Kay Cabot knew exactly what she was doing. This wasn't some rookie reporter making an amateur mistake. We're talking about someone who's shaped narratives in Cleveland sports for decades, someone who's been called out before for the types of stories she chooses to spotlight. When you've got that much experience, you don't accidentally ask irrelevant personal questions during football media sessions. So what happened when she threw that grenade of a question at Shedeur? He didn't take the bait, not even close.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I'm here not to talk about Pops and them. I'm here for the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns.
She tried to push further, asking if he had to worry about letting his thoughts drift to his father's situation. Again, Shedeur shut it down with surgical precision.
I'm focused. I'm focused on learning this playbook and everything I got to do to be the most successful quarterback I could be and be the best teammate I could be. Outside of that, I don't really have no thoughts or, really opinions on anything outside this game.
Boom! Game over. No emotional outburst, no viral meltdown, just a composed, calculated response from someone who recognized the trap and refused to walk into it. And here's the thing that made this moment so powerful. The internet saw it for exactly what it was. Within hours, social media exploded with people calling out the obvious media ambush. Fans, athletes, and even other journalists recognize this as a textbook example of how confident young black quarterbacks get targeted by loaded questions designed to make them look emotional, unstable, or difficult. Think about the pattern here. We've seen this movie before. Cam Newton gets criticized for dancing after touchdowns. Lamar Jackson gets picked apart for not being polished enough in interviews. And now Shedeur gets labeled as arrogant simply because he won't let reporters bait him into controversy. It's the same playbook every time. Smile too much? You're not taking football seriously. Wear nice clothes? You're showing off. Speak with confidence. You're cocky. Stay quiet and focused? Now you're cold and aloof. There's literally no way to win when the game is rigged from the start. But what makes this situation even more frustrating is what happened on draft day. Shedeur Sanders, coming off a historic college career at Colorado with a spotless record of leadership and undeniable football talent, fell all the way to the 5th round. 5th round. Most mock drafts had him going in the late 2nd or 3rd round at worst. A fan was so convinced that racial discrimination played a role in tanking Shedeur's draft stock that they filed a $100 million lawsuit against the NFL. You barely heard about that in the mainstream media, which tells you everything you need to know about which stories get amplified and which ones get buried. Instead of asking why a quarterback with his credentials fell so far, the media chose to focus on his watches, his outfits, and whether he'd be humble enough to succeed as a backup. They wanted to talk about everything except his actual football ability. And this is where former NFL safety Ryan Clark deserves credit for calling it exactly what it was. Clark didn't dance around the issue or try to find diplomatic language. He said straight up that the question aimed at Shedeur was coded, that it was designed to paint him as difficult, and that it was absolutely about race. The receipts are all there if you want to look. This generation of football fans has watched Colin Kaepernick get blackballed for taking a knee. They've seen how Cam Newton got treated after winning an MVP award. They watched Jameis Winston get turned into a meme. And now they're watching Shedeur Sanders like hawks because they're not letting the same script run again. What's different now is that fans aren't just watching passively. They're analyzing every interaction, recording every double standard, and calling out patterns in real time. When they saw Mary Kay Cabot's question, they didn't see harmless journalism. They saw a calculated attempt to control the narrative around a rising black star. But here's what makes Shedeur's response so brilliant. He didn't just avoid the trap, he exposed the entire broken system. By staying composed and redirecting to football, he showed the world that he knows exactly what game is being played. And more importantly, he's not playing by their rules. Even ESPN analyst and former NFL safety Ryan Clark didn't mince words about what happened. Clark pointed out that this wasn't just an inappropriate question, it was a coded attempt to make Shedeur look difficult or problematic. The kind of question that never gets asked to certain quarterbacks, but somehow always comes up when the quarterback happens to be young, confident, and black. Now let's talk about what Shedeur is actually dealing with on the football side. According to reports from Cleveland, he's facing the same challenge that's tripping up other rookies from the college game, NFL playbooks. Jimmy Horn Jr., who played with Shedeur at Colorado, recently admitted on Shannon Sharp's podcast that learning NFL terminology is like learning a whole other language. Horn described how in the NFL, they install new concepts every single day, and if you fall behind, you're basically dead in the water. Cleveland beat writer Dan Laba mentioned that Shedeur needs to completely understand the terminology and be able to relay calls in the huddle with absolute precision. This is where things get real in the NFL. It doesn't matter who your father is or how polished you look in interviews. Can you get in the huddle, call out a 12-word play, adjust to a blitz, and hit a dig route in rhythm? Can you do it under pressure? If not, you're not seeing the field. Reports suggest that the quarterback competition in Cleveland has narrowed down to Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel, with both Shedeur and veteran Joe Flacco falling toward the bottom of the depth chart. Former NFL receiver T.J. Houshmandzadeh said on his podcast that someone inside the Browns building told him it's really coming down to those two quarterbacks. And then there are the off-field issues that critics are absolutely loving to pile onto. Shedeur got 2 speeding tickets within a 2-week period, both for driving over 100 miles per hour. He also failed to appear in court for one of the citations. Justice Hill from Cleveland.com wrote a brutal piece saying Shedeur should lose his driving privileges entirely. To me, Shedeur Sanders should lose the right to use our roads, Hill wrote. He's rich, and he can Uber anywhere he might want to go. People shouldn't trust him to take his lead foot off the pedal. These are exactly the kinds of stories that get amplified when certain players make mistakes. Traffic tickets become character flaws. Missed court dates become evidence of immaturity. But somehow, these same standards don't seem to apply equally across the board. The most telling moment might have been at the ESPYs, when comedian Shane Gillis made a joke that cut deep. Deion Sanders retired his son Shedeur's number at Colorado. Gillis said, "That's not nepotism. He went 13-12. Almost won the Alamo Bowl." The camera caught the awkward laughter from the crowd, including Lamar Jackson, as everyone processed the implication that Shedeur's legacy was basically a punchline. But instead of responding with words, Shedeur let his actions speak. He posted a workout video with a simple message. No excuses, putting in the work, do what I gotta do. About to be time to be legendary, whenever that time is. Travis Hunter is about to shatter a record that stood untouched for 67 years. The Jacksonville Jaguars rookie could become the first player since Jim Brown in 1957 to win the NFL MVP award as a rookie. NFL traditionalists are already seething, but Hunter doesn't care about their opinions. The number 2 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft signed a 4-year, $46.65 million contract with a $30.57 million signing bonus paid up front. He became the first non-quarterback in NFL history to receive that bonus structure. Jacksonville traded up specifically to get Hunter, showing massive organizational commitment to his dual threat capabilities. Hunter dominated both sides of the ball at Colorado in 2024. He caught 96 receptions for 1,258 yards with 15 touchdowns on offense. On defense, he recorded 4 interceptions, 11 passes defensed, and allowed only a 39.9 quarterback rating when targeted. He logged over 100 snaps per game for 2 consecutive years. The expectations for Hunter appear to already be unfairly high, way above most rookies, including quarterbacks, wrote Eric Edholm. Yet, if the two-way player can pull off the NFL equivalent to his 2024 season at Colorado, he might break the paradigm of what being a league MVP looks like. Deion Sanders and Charles Woodson played on both offense and defense, but not on a regular basis like Hunter will. Hunter could become the first player in the modern era to play significant snaps on both sides of the ball consistently. Jim Brown remains the only rookie to win an MVP award in NFL history. No player has accomplished this feat in nearly 7 decades. Hunter's ability to contribute on both offense and defense gives him an advantage no other rookie has possessed. Edholm acknowledges the massive challenge ahead. It might take something like 900 receiving yards and 8 to 10 touchdowns on offense, I figure, plus 4 or more interceptions and other big plays on defense for Hunter, even to enter the MVP discussion. Adrian Peterson was the last non-quarterback to earn MVP honors in 2012. No wide receiver has ever won the award. Hunter faces historical precedent working against him, but his dual position capability creates unprecedented circumstances. The Jaguars possess talent at both receiver and cornerback positions. Brian Thomas Jr. enters his second season after recording 1,282 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns as a rookie. Dyami Brown provides additional depth at wide receiver. The cornerback room includes 4 potential starters: Jordan Lewis, Tyson Campbell, Monteric Brown, and Jarrian Jones. Hunter will compete for snaps rather than walk into a starting role immediately. General Manager James Gladstone spoke to SiriusXM NFL Radio and explained that the team feels Hunter is more natural playing cornerback. The Jaguars ranked number 1, 31 in total defense, and number 32 inches passing defense last season. Hunter's presence could dramatically improve these numbers. Trevor Lawrence has already witnessed Hunter's work ethic firsthand. Travis has been great, Lawrence said. Just his work ethic, how he's come in. He's been one of the hardest working guys we have. I think it's his commitment to learning the playbook and trying to learn the 2 systems. Hunter has impressed veterans like defensive lineman Eric Armstead during rookie minicamp and OTAs. Head coach Liam Cohen has hinted that Hunter could be used on both sides of the ball this season. Brian Sexton from Jaguars.com offered realistic expectations. I expect we'll see flashes of brilliance mixed with rookie mistakes and the usual learning curve that comes from playing on Sundays. The word from Boulder, Colorado, was that Hunter's supreme gifts allowed him to take it easier during the practice week than he will be able to do at this level. Zion Ali, the number 1 overall prospect in the 2026 class, is already drawing comparisons to Hunter. The Baltimore, Maryland native recently confirmed plans to play both defense and wide receiver at Maryland. Ely measures 6 feet 3 inches, 220 pounds with a 4.4 40-yard dash and an 11-foot broad jump. He turned down a scholarship offer from Deion Sanders at Colorado to stay close to home. His physical gifts could make Hunter's dual threat ability less rare in the coming years. With elite speed and power, Ely might become college football's next two-way sensation, according to recruiting analysts. If Ely develops as projected, he will enter the NFL draft conversation in 3 years. Hunter's dual eligibility creates unprecedented fantasy football opportunities. In traditional leagues, he can be placed in WR, flex, and OP slots. He receives points for offensive production plus any defensive or special teams touchdowns. IDP leagues offer the complete Hunter experience. He earns points for everything on both offense and defense. His positional eligibility includes wide receiver, flex, outside passer, cornerback, defensive back, and defensive passer slots. ESPN's scoring system demonstrates Hunter's potential impact. A sample stat line of 5 receptions, 47 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 solo tackles, and 1 interception would generate 26.7 fantasy points in PPR IDP leagues. Fantasy experts recommend placing Hunter in a defensive lineup slot in IDP leagues. This strategy allows managers to employ an extra offensive player in wide receiver or flex positions while getting defensive production from Hunter. Hunter partnered with streamer Kai Cenat to create a custom touchdown celebration at the AMP house. The collaboration video went viral across social media platforms within hours of posting.
Can we come up with a celebration for one of your touchdowns this season?
Yes.
Or the first one?
Yeah, it could be the first one for sure. I've been saving it. So I ain't even tried dance to do for my first celebration. So we definitely can come up with one.
Come on, let's hook up. Right now. Let's cook up. Wait, we should all do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It gotta be some swaggy like, yeah. Oh my.
Cenat boasts over 15 million Instagram followers and over 19 million TikTok followers. His net worth reaches $35 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth. The partnership connects Hunter with audiences beyond traditional football fans. If he scores, he has to hit this dance, Cenat exclaimed during the recording session. The celebration represents the growing intersection between professional sports and digital media influencers. Hunter also became the first athlete signed to Kai Cenat and AMP's skincare brand, TONE. The business partnership extends beyond entertainment into legitimate marketing opportunities.
Fuck, you need to just...
Yeah, he horny. I think he gotta let that out.
Taiwan? You can't do that.
Pick him up, Jerry. No, pick him up. Hey, sit down, Travis.
You keep the chair.
Sit down. Travis Hunter.
Like, all of them. I like all of them. I love all of them. Oh.
What's your favorite though?
Pick him up. No, what's your favorite scene?
Nah, pick Phantom up. Nah, you can't.
Nah, Phantom got down.
Yeah, you see that? Alright, yo!
Hunter demonstrated business awareness during his AMP house visit. When Cenat requested free NFL tickets during the live stream, Hunter responded strategically. Y'all in Tony Parker's house? Y'all talking about free tickets? All right, I'm selling them for $100. Hunter replied before later agreeing to help Cenat. The exchange revealed Hunter's understanding of professional boundaries and access value. Hunter displayed humility throughout the visit. When offered a seat among the group, he chose to kneel rather than displace anyone. This gesture contrasted with typical high draft pick behavior in celebrity circles. Travis Kelce offered his solution to neutralize Hunter during a recent podcast appearance. I don't know how they're going to divvy him out in snaps. Teams are going to be going after him. They're going to try and make his day miserable, Kelce said on Bussin' with the Boys. Kelce's strategy involves targeting Hunter's defensive side repeatedly, with deep routes to wear him down. The goal is eliminating his presence on both sides of the ball through fatigue. Fox Sports' Bucky Brooks believes Cohen may counter this approach. Maybe Hunter is just a designated third down defender, a nickel or dime who comes in for gotta-have-it situations, Brooks suggested. The Chiefs will test their strategy when they visit Jacksonville on October 6th. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo could implement Kelce's recommendations during this Week 5 matchup. Hunter enters the NFL with unprecedented expectations for a rookie. He could contend for both Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year awards depending on his snap distribution. The Jaguars' offense managed only 19 passing touchdowns last season. Lawrence threw 11 of those touchdowns while playing just 10 games. Hunter's arrival could dramatically increase these numbers. Jacksonville's defense requires significant improvement after ranking near the bottom in multiple categories. Hunter's cornerback skills could provide immediate impact in pass coverage. Sexton added perspective on Hunter's transition. He said, I think he will be a tremendous and two-way contributor in time, but Sundays are different from Saturdays, and it is reasonable to pump the brakes and let the Heisman Trophy winner have some room to grow in his first NFL season.